Greetings and salutations. Welcome to our West Brom club guide. This is my final guide. Once I've done this, I've completed the entirety of the Premiership. It's been really a fun series. So our last team is West Brom. I do apologise if you're a West Brom fan and you're waiting for this. My bad. This just so happens to be the last one. There was no personal preference. So in these club guides, if you've not seen any other ones, basically what we do is we have a look at the finances, see if we've got any transfer budget or wage budget left over that we can spend. We'll then look at the board and see what they expect us to achieve this season so we don't get sacked, which is always nice. And then we'll look at the under-18s, under-21s to see if there's any bright youth prospects. And finally, we'll look into the squad, have a brief overview of the players, and then see if there's any areas that we can improve that need improving. So let's get straight in. So the first obviously message we get is a message from the owner or director in this case. They tell you their club's vision, which is to develop players using the club's youth system. Okay, that's fair enough. I think most football managers like doing that anyway. Finances wise, we've got 4.5 million in the bank, transfer budget of 0, and a wage budget of 947,000. And you're spending 875. So we've got almost £75,000 a week to spend on wages, but just no transfer budget. So that could mean either somebody that's out of contract or a loan signing that you have to pay the wages of. Other than that, you could maybe do a little bit of board adjusting to get a little bit of transfer fee. I don't think you could do a great deal with it. You could give yourself a couple of million with still some wages left over, I suppose. But that's about it. So other than that, you're going to have to sell to buy. So the board expect you this season to achieve in the Premiership mid-table. Okay, might be tricky, but we'll have a look. FA Cup 5th round and League Cup 4th round. Okay, we'll see if this goal's achievable once we go through the actual squad and see the team. So we're not going to look for every player in the team just to see their youth stats. I'll let you discover any little hidden gems here. We're just going to go through the sort of top talents in the team. So obviously the top talent in the under-18s is Tyler Roberts, who's a striker but can also play on the wing. He's absolutely rapid for a 16-year-old. That is quick. This guy could be 18-19 pace by the time he hits sort of 21. His work rate is 12 and his determination is 10. 10's a little bit low. They are two of the important factors when working out if a player is going to hit their potential ability. So maybe get a tutor to try with high determination to get that up. But absolutely rapid. Like I said, these other physicals will go up naturally because he's only 16 years old. His striker stats, we've got finishing 13, first touch 12, composure's 10. Off the ball's 12. They're really high for a 16-year-old. I think there's definitely somebody that could become a quality player. Give him some game time, try and get him a tutor, maybe loan him out when he's old enough. Absolute quality. So looking, there's not much in the under-21s, is there? There's Boaz Myhill, not really a youngster. We might be able to sell him for a bit of money though, 1.6 million, 18,000. So we'll jump back in and have a look at the second best here. Jonathan Lecco, 16-year-old striker, another striker. Again with decent physicals, really decent overall physicals for a 16-year-old. Only 9 work rate and 9 determination, so he might struggle a little bit to reach his potential ability. His striking stats aren't quite as good as the other guy, but still a very good youngster with a bright future. He's got a long way to improve though, he's got further to go, and he might struggle with those determination and work rate stats. So on to the main squad. Let's have a look. So in goal we got Ben Foster. We all know about him, won't go into too much detail. Still a quality goalkeeper. He's 32, so you've still got another couple of years out of him. I think he's perfectly fine as your main goalkeeper for the first season or two. And then you've got Anders Lingard, who's a decent backup, plenty of experience, another decent player. And you've got Boaz Myhill in the reserve, so you could maybe sell Lingard if you wanted to make some money, or sell Myhill to make a couple of million. But goalkeeper's perfectly fine. So, right backs. We have Christian Gamboa. I will murder the names, it's just kind of my style. I'm no good with names. He's a right back by trade. He's absolutely rapid. His natural fitness is a little bit low, which is, if you're up and down all game, that could be an issue of his recovery time and everything. But his tackling is okay, his marking's okay, work rate's really good. He's 25 years old, so he's still got a bit of room to improve. His determination's okay. He's an okay player. Nothing particularly special. Next up at right back, we have Craig Gardner, 28 years old now, so he's in his prime. He can play right back, but he's more suited to midfield, and that's probably where he should go. So we'll go into more detail when we go into the right midfielders. So other than that, you've got two centre backs that can also play right midfield, but right back. But for my memory, I think these are pretty much both centre backs. But let's have a look. So James Chester, yeah, he's definitely a centre back. He can play right back if you're playing a very defensive right back, but going forward, he's absolute bobbins. Good all round physicals, decent pace for a centre back. He's perfectly fine. 15 tackling, 13 marking, 14 heading. Yeah, he's fine. Nothing particularly special. Then we've got Craig Dawson, 25 years old, so still room to improve. Again, he's kind of good, a little bit better than Chester, and he's a little bit better going forward, so he can play right back a little bit better. But he's a decent player, nothing particularly groundbreaking. Next up we have Gareth McCauley. He's 35 now, so his physicals will start dropping off quite quickly. He's got a year left on his contract. I think he's got really good mentals. I think he's like perfectly good as a backup player. You might get some games out of him. Just the pace is starting to worry me, and that's only going to drop down further. So, but a decent squad player to have because he can play those positions. Then we've got Jonas Olsson, the Swedish wonder. 32 years old, sort of similar position really. His pace is what lets him down. He's good at everything else. I think if you're playing a higher line with maybe an offside trap, then you need pace. But if you're sort of more standard defensive line, or even if you're dropping a little bit deeper on a sort of counter-attacking formation, then pace is less important. It's always important, of course, but I think you can get away with it better. But he's a decent player. And then we've got Johnny Evans, who's the youngster in the group at 27, and yeah, decent player. I think he'll be your first choice. He's got work rate, he's got teamwork, he's got leadership. Yeah, so he's a different. He'll have a few words on the pitch and stuff. I don't know if he'll be a captain or vice captain, but he's definitely a decent player. Probably your first choice centre back at the moment. And then we've got Danny Bobby. He's only 17 years old. I'm not really sure why he's in the first team, to be honest. He should be probably loaned out or tutored. Good physicals, 8 marking though. He's definitely not ready for the first team yet. So that's about it for your centre backs. Left backs, you've got Sebastian Pogonoli, who's a good attacking fullback. He's really good at getting forward. He could also take corners. He's got long shots. He's kind of a jack of all trades sort of personality. He's got decent pace. There's no real weak points in his game. Maybe marking's a little bit low. Positioning's a little bit low. That's a little bit scary for a left back. But other than that, okay, and good going forward. And we have Chris Brunt, the ex-Sheffield Wednesday player. Much more of a winger than a left back, but can just about fill in if you have a bit of an issue, or you play maybe a wing back. Could suit him. I think he still needs work on his defensive duties, but he's 30 years old now. So defensively, not too bad. I think maybe a right back would be the first position I'd go for defensively, because we have our only natural real right back is Gamboa. Gardner can do a job there, as can Dawson, but yeah, they're kind of filling in more than they are sort of natural at those roles. So onto midfield, we got Darren Fletcher, who is going to be your captain, I imagine. Really good mentals. 31 years old now, so he's just starting to turn. Can play centre mid or defensive midfielder. He's kind of a sort of jack of all trades, really. He's never going to let you down. He's going to be a consistent player without ever being really outstanding. He's decent defensively, so I'd probably play him a little bit deeper. But yeah, quality player, probably your captain. Then we've got Claudio Jacob, who's a definite defensive midfielder with 16 tackling, 16 marking. I was just sort of thinking, well, he could play centre back. He's only 5'11", which is a slight issue, and his heading's a little bit low. But yeah, so a defensive midfielder all day long, quality mentals, average physicals. 27 years old now, so he'll be sort of in the team for the next few years. Central midfielders wise, after that, well, I think they're quite versatile, so we'll just go through in order. Next up, we've got Callum McManaman. A lot of promise this kid has shown over the years. Never really, he's kind of been on the cusp of producing it, but I think he's still a great player. He's a winger naturally, but can play up front if needed, and his striker stats are okay. But decent, good pace, good dribbling, good determination and flair. He's going to beat people on the wing. His crossing's not fantastic, but it's enough. His mentals are a little bit low down here, which generally means like concentration, decisions, positioning, teamwork, work rate. Those sort of stats means that he's not obviously going to work the hardest, but also he might just go missing in the odd game. But he's definitely a decent player. He's 24, so he can still improve a little bit. He's perfectly good in the squad. I think he's been downgraded a little bit this season. Then we've got Serge Gnabry, on loan from Arsenal. He's an attacking midfielder, can also play on the wing. He can do both jobs pretty much equally. Decent physicals. I bet you haven't got... just checking to see if you had a future fee, but no. Obviously, he's not going to track back and be defensive at all, but he's good going forward. Long shots 13, lots of flair. Dribbling's 14. He's going to beat people. Has no preferred moves, and that was maybe you want to work something on that. But yeah, very good player. He's definitely going to be getting games this season. Then we've got Sessegnon, 31 years old now, so he's getting on a bit. Scouts don't rate him that much with only 2-star. Obviously he's declining, but his acceleration 18, he's still absolutely rapid. 20 flair, 17 dribbling. He's just going to make fun of people on the ball. Runs with ball through centre, gets forward whenever possible, tries killer balls off and shoots with power. Yeah, how would I play him? Yeah, probably... I was thinking sort of shadow striker actually, but then he's not. His finishing's not quite good enough, and his long shots is absolutely dreadful. Which is when somebody's got runs forward whenever possible and shoots with power, you think, oh, and then he can't shoot, which is a bit of a bum. And it's way too late to train. There's no point training that up. You'll never get that much. You might get it to 6 if you're lucky. But yeah, that's about it. He's kind of a weird player. Again, he's got some issues mentally. Work rate 7, teamwork 7, positioning 6, decisions making and determination a little bit better, but you kind of just wind this guy up and watch him run about a bit. Maybe as a good impact sub, I think would be quite good. Up front, it's definitely an issue with 10 finishing, 9 composure. Yeah, so I think it's sort of bring him on when everybody's tired and just watch him go. Then we have Berahino. We all know about this kiddie. Lots of rumours about him leaving or staying or wanting to go, wanting to stay and all that sort of stuff. Absolute beastly player for West Brom. He is your star man. He is, as expected, the first name on the cheat sheet. But by definition, he's worth a lot of money. Now, depending on your Football Manager play style, you might want to cash in on this guy. If you can get 30 million, 35 million, you can do a lot with that. My sort of form, I prefer to play kind of a more natural game. I kind of like to use most of the squad and just make small pieces of business rather than a big rebuilding job. But that's totally up to you. If you want to keep him, he's an absolute beastie. Then we have James McLean, who's our winger. He's 26 years old. He's a decent player. He's kind of, like I said before, one of the other players. There's no weak points in his game. There's also nothing outstanding. But he can play on the right and the left wing, which is quite nice, and he's a decent squad player. Next up, we have James Van Morrison. who's an attacking midfielder, can play centre mid as well, which is good. You're lacking in that area a little bit. He's not good defensively, but going forward he's definitely good. I'd be tempted to play him more on the wing by looking at his stats. He's got good enough pace to play on the wing. He's got 17 dribbling, 15 crossing, off the ball 17, flares 15, decision making is decent, vision 16, so he's going to pick out a pass. His passing's 14. I'd be tempted to play him on the wing, unless obviously you need an attacking midfielder. But you can definitely play on the wing quite happily. Then you've got big Ricky Lambert. I think he's a great player to have in your squad. He's your perfect target man. If you're playing two up top, him and Berahino would just have fun together, because he's the perfect foil for Berahino. As you expect, really good stats. Not the paciest, but he's just a really good target man. Then we've got Victor Anachibi, who's also more of a target man, I would say slightly more. 6'3". He's decent. I don't think he's first choice. I think he'll do a job for you off the bench. And lastly, the new signing, Salaman Rondon, who's beastly. No, he's really good. I think the scouts are underrating him with the 3.5 stars. I think he's at least a 4. 25 years old, heading and finishing both 16. He is a target man as well. Yeah, I think if I was playing two up top, I'd play Rondon as a target man with Berahino playing off him, and you've got Lambert as the perfect step in for Rondon, and you've got Anachibi that can come on for Berahino. So yeah, I think you're sorted there. So that's pretty much it. So we'll have a quick look at the team as a whole. It's pretty decent. I definitely think you need a right back. I'm not sold on Gamboa, and you don't really have much cover. I think we don't have any money to spend, so I won't go into sort of too many sort of positional. You've not got many central midfielders, but you've got some great wingers. So that's maybe where you need to concentrate your passing. Maybe play a bit wider, stretch the defence and all that jazz. And you've got some great striking options. I think mid-table is quite tricky. I will say that much, though. I think with no money... No, hang on. Is it no money to spend, or did you have money? I'm going mad. Yeah, no money. I just suddenly thought you had 15 million, but that was probably the other... That was the previous video. Yeah, mid-table's going to be tricky, guys, I think, with this team. Definitely. That's not an easy task. It's one of the more difficult tasks in the Premiership. But yeah, so let me know if you guys are going to be doing a West Brom save. It's definitely going to be a challenge. And tell me if the big thing is, tell me if you're going to cash in on Berahino or not. Because that's the interesting one. Do you cash in for 35 million and splash about and improve everywhere else in the squad, or you just have him as your main man and build a squad around him? So let me know what you guys think. Thank you very much for joining me. I have completed the Premiership. Hooray! Yeah, please leave any comments. Please subscribe. I'm new to YouTube. Subscriptions mean a ton to me. So yeah, check out my other videos and all that self-promotion bollocks. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.